All y'all was this man friend and all this stuff happened and all y'all then ran from him. Y'all then disappeared. Y'all nowhere to be found. And I just think that since we are in the mental health section, although Diddy out here laughing and grinning, and I mean, I'm sure he probably, well, I can't say he been through worse, but I just have to say, like, I would feel like it's interesting that when you go down, how many people just kind of pull back and not even and like I said, we don't know who didn't text him. We don't know if Mary J didn't text him. Correct. Or we don't know if Trina didn't text him. Who other friends he got?
Young Miami.
What's up, y'all? So we have expanded, all right. P.S.A, the ghostwriting solution. We got another ad here, obviously, has expanded. And now we are specialized curriculum development and reading and history for K through 12. So what does that mean? Why to choose us? So this is expertise in K through 12 education, all right? So this is custom curriculum development, curriculum length options, consultation revision, and additional resources. Also, we have a la carte options. So if in case your school for the private and public schools does not want the full shebang, guess what? You can do the a la carte options, which includes the curriculum design, the lesson plans, the multimedia content, assessments, the education guides, interactive activities, reading lists, resource compilations, and historical source collections in case, again, you don't want the full shebang. So as always, reach out to me at PSA, thepodcast.com or my email, theprodigyperspective@gmail.com. Hit me up. What's up, y'all? I'm back at the studio. Season 8, can you believe it? Let's get a round of applause for that. Insert laugh track. All right, so everybody, we are back for another super hot fire season 8 of PSA, the mental health podcast, with your host, Izzy Baker Oven. And I had to take a break, get myself together, to come back for season 8. You know, we've been keeping up with the live streams every other Monday. You've been catching me with the vlog. And I had to get back to my roots. So here we are. As always, we have a great episode because I'm talking about a topic that I really feel like I should teach a class on. Because I was a teacher for 6.5 years, and teaching the youth is my zhuzh, especially the people that's more youthful in the mind than they realize. Because a lot of us are kind of immature. And I mean, we all immature to an extent, but some are more than others, all right? But anyway, let me not get to rambling. Let's get into today's meme, all right? So the meme reads, "You are entirely too old to not be able to make your own decision." All right? I think that in this society, we are so caught up in wanting to make sure everybody else is good. And I'm all for putting others before self, but at some point, you got to put yourself first. And I think sometimes we forget to do that. Inspirations for this episode come from a few things. It's a tweet from Moneybag Yo that I'm going to get into a little later. He tweeted in December 2021, and we're going to get into that later. Imposter syndrome, I want to talk about that. Talked about it before, but I want to talk about it some more. I want to talk about indecisiveness. I want to talk about people pleasing, which is another inspiration for this episode, and people not being able to tell people no. That's another form of inspiration for me for this episode, because the thing it'll be like, what did it say? To say, if you want help arguing, call me. That's how I feel about saying no. If you want help saying no, call me. All right, as we continue going on, let's go into the first segment for today, which is happy hour. Now, to the left of me, it wouldn't make sense because, as we know, when I do solo episodes, happy hour is me ranting about something. But since I'm in the studio with a guest, I'm going to go ahead and introduce them now, because it doesn't make sense for me to do a whole happy hour and they just sitting here smiling like they don't speak English. So let's introduce my guest, y'all. So everybody, this is
Tayy Wayy.
Tell the people where you from and tell them where do you live now.
So I am originally from Conroe, Texas. If y'all don't know what that is, about an hour away, real country. And I currently live on the south side of Houston.
All right. Now tell the people what it is that you do.
So by day, I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for about 4 years. I started out in special education, which I want to get back to. That's what I absolutely love. And then by night, I do media. I have a podcast of my own also. I do hosting. Pretty much anything I put my mind to, I can do, you know.
Okay. So let's zoom in a little bit real quick. So let's talk about that. So you the host, you podcast host. How do you feel in this society now where people, how do I want to word this? How do you feel in this society now where everyone has a podcast?
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I'm not gonna lie, and that's crazy that you asked me this. I get I want to say about a year ago or 2 years ago, I did get real discouraged. And I was just like, I almost was like, I don't want to do it no more. But then I just had to start really like thinking. And I was just like, Tay, you got to sit down and think outside the box. How can you make yours different? How can you make it like an experience where they want to tell somebody else, like, hey, you need to get on Tay's show. Like, you need to go to True Tuesday. So that's what I would say. Definitely just finding a way to make it unique and different.
Okay. Now, for those that don't know, Tayy actually was on P.S.A. now 4 seasons ago. This is 8, and she was on season 4 in 2020 in the height of the pandemic. So since then, what have you been up to?
First of all, I want to say that, you inspired me to, do all this,
Oh, shucks, don't say that.
I mean, I got to give you your flowers while you here.
Thank you.
Ain't that right?
Yeah, appreciate it.
Okay. So since then, I've been teaching. And then just I didn't go to school for what do you call it? Not communications, but is it RTF? Radio, television, film.
Right, yeah.
I didn't go to school for that. So really just teaching myself everything to, go with media. And then I've been doing a lot of networking, just trying to meet other women that's in my field too, so that I can learn more. I like the iron sharpens iron. So I don't mind being around, other women that are further than me and things like that. So it's pretty much what I've been up to.
Okay, good. I like that you said it. I'm going to go on that when you said iron sharpens iron, because I think in today's society, we get so caught up in people not being hating. That's not the word I want to use. But we get caught up in people who people are intimidated. So it's like if they're intimidated by somebody that's more advanced than them, they try to take them down or try to stop I hate to use that phrase. It sounds like a baddie, but stop they bag. And I just feel as though when you do that, you only blocking your own blessings, because you just don't know what all that they went through to get there. And it's like, you could have been up next. You just don't know. You don't know what opportunity was about to present itself, and blocked your stuff because you reap what you sow. So you putting out discord and you trying to stop people. Somebody gonna try to eventually do the same thing to you.
Correct.
And I think that's just how it goes in that. Now, with you, because you are a person who I know is in media and you do run your own company, let's talk about the whole premise really of this podcast and decision making. I feel like in a lot of ways, too many of us are actually afraid to make certain decisions, and I feel like some people are too old to not be able to make a decision. So what is your take on people who at this age can't make, I won't say good decisions, but a decision in general?
Give me a question one more time.
What is your take on people who actually aren't able to make decisions? That not good decisions everybody can make, because a good decision, bad decision, at least you made a decision, right?
Correct.
But what is your take on people who at this age who actually struggle with making decisions, like being indecisive?
I don't know if this gonna sound rude or not, but I feel like you said, everybody make decisions, everybody make choices. And I feel like that's what you choosing to, like, that's a choice that you making.
Right.
Like, I guess my example would be like, I finally came to grips last year that I'm scared of like a lot of things. And like everybody, when they see me, they always see me happy, smiling. They wouldn't think just like, but I be wanting them people to like push me or, call me and stuff like that. So it's just like, I don't know. I had to make that decision to keep going, keep pushing, or I'm gonna keep being still and where I'm at. Like the show won't grow, I won't grow. So I feel like it's a decision. And if you choose to not make the decision, you're gonna stay where you at.
For sure, for sure. All right, so let's get into a few words. And I have there's no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
All right. So when you hear the word principles, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Dang, you catch me off guard when I hear principles.
There's no right or wrong answer.
I'm not gonna lie, it made me think about business.
Okay. When you hear the word, when you hear the phrase stand on business, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Can you curse on here?
Yeah.
Being about your shit.
Okay. So scrolling up, when you hear the word indecisive, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Confusion.
All right. And when you hear the word, I think that's it. That's it. All right. So now, principles, the definition is a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as the foundation for a system or belief or behavior for a chain of reasoning. Stand on business. To be standing on business is to stand your ground and get things done, especially when you're under pressure. Standing on business means sticking by your principles, choosing to walk that walk, and not just talk the talk. And the talk, Tayy Wayy, truth Tuesday, okay. And the indecisive is a person not having or showing the ability to make decisions quickly and effectively. Okay. All right, now, so let's get into everybody's favorite segment, which we didn't have this when you was here the first time. Okay. What does this have to do with mental health? Okay, so on Truth Tuesday with Tayy Wayy, you spotlight remarkable individuals. Tell me about a story that was shared on your show that influenced your approach to stand on principles, especially when standing firm on your decisions.
I'm not gonna lie, the interview that I just did, I want to say a month ago with HTX Food Plug. He does the hot Cheeto boudin balls here in Houston. And first of all, his how old he was and just how business minded he was, just really was like inspiring to me. And I know that some people, beat themselves up about age sometimes, like I'm this old, I should have this done, or I'm this old and I should have that done. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of started thinking like that like a little bit, but I'm just like, your time is your time. But his story was just very inspiring, just how he started at is it Tilwester? Yeah, he started at Tilwester out of his, dorm. Now he's able to, he has the building, working on a food truck. It's just, that was a story that I will never, ever forget. And he just dropped so many good gems, exclusives, like so much stuff. Like, definitely a good story.
Okay, good stuff. All right, so now, have you ever had a guest, or, well, let me ask you this. Have you ever struggled with telling people no?
Yes.
Do you still struggle with that?
Hell no.
Why? How? Tell the people, what is a good way, or why shouldn't people care about telling people no? And how did you get over it?
I got over it because, first of all, I didn't know I didn't love myself, like genuinely love myself. And it's like when you just caught up in all the mess, it's like you trying to get love from everybody else and please everybody else. And I didn't realize that's what I was doing. But I kind of felt like a doormat. Like, you know how doormats sit in front of your door and people just run over it. And it was after I graduated college and I seen like, I was president when I was at TSU, and I just seen how like, when I wasn't president no more, kind of how like the friends, the phone calls, the checking on, like all of it kind of died down and just kind of showed me just, what is that quote? Like people be around you when it's beneficial, like type of thing. And I started working on myself in my journey, and I just learned that boundaries, that'll really scare a whole bunch of people off, because people like you when you can do for them. And misery loves company. And when you gossip and all that stuff. And when I just changed all of them things and I got my boundaries, like, no, easy. And I don't want everybody in my space.
Right.
And I think people are weird that say like, I want your energy, or I want to be around your energy. And I just be like, huh? So, yeah.
Now, before we read my notes, I have to say this because I was going to talk about this later. I'm talking about it now. So since we're here, it only makes sense. You talked about when you stopped being the president of UPC president, Everybody stopped calling, stopped checking on you, all that good stuff. You had all these friends, all these connections, all this is right. Now, recently in the news, Diddy, the diddler, is in Miami, out and about. I've seen him on a friend of mine's Snapchat, big chilling. Like some people's like, why ain't he in jail? I mean, he hasn't been, locked. They ain't putting no, it's just he going through the process now. And I mean, and one of my friends in the back, he saw it and on my story and said, this is insane because he out here big chilling. Now, everybody's favorite, the person who I think stands on business, does a great job of this, is Boosie.
Okay.
And me personally, there's so many people I can name that people don't agree that I like. Like I although I know everybody don't like them, I like Cat Williams, I like Monique, I like Dave Chappelle. I don't care what nobody say. We can get into and argue. I like Candace Owens. I like Joe Budden. Sometimes. And there's a few more that I can name, but all of them stand on what they said. But in correlation or, in the discussion about Boosie went viral of course he always go viral, but he made a video stating how all y'all was this man friend and all this stuff happened and all y'all done ran from him, y'all done disappeared, y'all nowhere to be found. And I just think that since we are in the mental health section, although Diddy out here laughing and grinning, and I mean, I'm sure he probably, well, I can't say he's been through worse, but I just have to say, like, I would feel like it's interesting to see, like, when you go down, how many people just kind of pull back. Mm-hmm. And not even, and like I said, we don't know who didn't text him. We don't know if Mary J didn't text him. Correct. Or we don't know if Trina didn't text him. Who other friends he got?
Young Miami. I mean,
so we don't know if they texted him, but you can relate to what it's like. Granted, you didn't necessarily have a great fall like he did.
Correct.
Like P. Humpty Dumpty. But it's the same breath. It's just like, dang, like, I've been in situations where stuff has happened and you don't hear from people. And it's like, you couldn't have just sent a text and be like, hey, just making sure you all right, or ain't heard from you in a minute. And you have to, what I want people to understand this episode is y'all need to cherish the people who check on you, even if it's just random. Even if people are like, oh, my mama texts me every day saying the same thing. At least you got that. Some people ain't even got that. So keep that in mind too. Some people be beefed out with their mama like real hard.
Hey.
All right, so let's get into the notes for how this topic correlates with mental health. So the first is authenticity and psychological well-being. So it says the positive relationship between authenticity and well-being is supported by several studies, such as discussed in the Journal of Counseling Psychology. It says acting in harmony with one's true self and values contributes to higher levels of happiness and overall mental health. And it says emphasizing authenticity in both personal and professional decisions, it helps to maintain self-esteem and reduces stress, leading to better overall mental health. The second one is resilience enhanced by personal values. The Journal of Personality and Social Psychology highlights the adherence to personal values, which can foster resilience. For those that don't know what resilience means, that means your ability to shake back. And when individuals face adversity, they are guided by the core principles which tend to exhibit greater psychological resilience. And this is upholding one's principles in challenging situations, not only serves as a moral compass, but also strengthens mental resilience, offering protection against the psychological impact of stress. So even with that, before we go to the third one, I do believe that you have to, when you tell people no, and you have to deal with people. So let's go back to UPC. So what would happen when you notice, like, if somebody needed something or they wanted you to do something and you told them no, did you notice they start acting different?
Of course.
Did they start? What would they do?
Now you saying now or like
back then or now? But I really in UPC.
I'm not gonna say I didn't say no.
Okay.
I really did not say no. I was a people pleaser. Like, and I think that just draw back into my childhood, wanting that love from my mom. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it was yes all the time.
Oh, that's why you were so stressed out. I remember you used to be stressed.
Do you hear me?
She was stressed out. But so when you say no now, what happens?
Normally, sometimes don't hear hear from them no more, or they'll find somebody else to do it, you know, or I mean, the main thing is I won't hear from you no more.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, or normally when I say no, I know that no is like a complete sentence, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm saying no too. And some people don't be agreeing, or that's not how you used to be. And I'm just like,
Somebody said that?
no. Izzy, I'm telling you, I just got a text message this morning. Somebody scrolled all the way down my page and took a screenshot of an old picture and texted me and said, I missed this Tayy. Where is she?
Wow.
Like, bro, like I'm growing. Like that's not who I am. Like that's crazy.
That's niggatry for real.
That is crazy. But yeah, so I don't know. Just no is no. And if you go, I'm fine with that. You just not meant to be.
That's how I feel.
Be around me no more.
And a lot of people, I think people are scared to lose people. I think that's what the main thing is. But, you know, it's so cliche and it's so, you know, annoying, but it's the truth. Like, if you ain't losing people, you ain't doing something right. Honestly.
Can I throw something else in?
Go ahead.
I also want to say, just like when you said the losing people, I think on my self-love journey, because I had abandonment problems too, because, you know, not having my mom and stuff like that. But something else that I've been learning, I teach myself, is seasons. And it's just like when you think about seasons, it's summer, winter, spring, fall, and like everybody not gonna stay forever. And I'm not gonna lie, when I started thinking like that, it helped me a lot to understand just like everybody not gonna be around, like I said, forever. Sometimes you supposed to come into people's life, deliver that message, or, you know, show them something different, and you gotta keep on going. So that's what made it easier for me, most definitely. Like, you just getting the experience. Like, experience.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. All right, let's zoom in on the third one. So the third one is strengthening connections through shared values. All right. It says the importance of social connections to mental health is self-determined, with findings published in sources like psychological science. Engaging with communities and audiences through shared values can enhance feelings of belonging and support mental well-being. So before we continue, let's zoom in on that part real quick. I think that having shared values is a big thing, especially when it comes to networking. And I think that if Texas Southern University didn't teach us nothing else, it taught us how to network. If nothing else, because you had to find out why your credit didn't go through for your classes and why they dropped you from all your classes. who a person you need to talk to get that email to that person. Why they took your meal plan off. You get in there and they say it ain't on here. You was ready for their pizza and them fries and them salads. What else they took off? When you trying to figure out who can give you in-state tuition when you out of state, and it's literally just like a signing of
when your scholarship didn't go through.
After you was planning on that, get to the school. I've heard people get to the school and then
it disappeared.
It just magically disappeared. Get to the HBCU and their scholarship just disappeared. And they talking about something, we don't know who gave that to you. That don't even exist.
I need y'all to find it.
All right. So then it says creating content or engaging practice that reflect one's values can then deepen connections. All right. And that's good, because I think that sometimes we get caught up in, what's what I want to say? We get caught up in losing connections, but having shared values can actually bring about connections too. And as we go along this season, we'll get into more how you can foster that. So now, have you ever felt a situation where your personal values, now you name the one with the dude saying he missed this Tayy,
right,
but where it caused conflict in your professional world?
Ooh. Wait, okay, give me that one more time.
So, have you ever been in a situation where your personal values that you have, standing on business, standing on principles, it caused conflicts in your personal world? In professional world.
Oh, professional world. Oh, yeah. Kind of what I was telling you before we had got started. So I told y'all I'm a teacher. And I want to say probably second week of school, like I was put on probation. I'm just big on, like, I don't know, I don't like disrespect. I don't like is it the person that like don't speak up for themselves? Like I'm gonna come behind you and be like, nah, like that right there, that ain't right.
Right.
So I just want to say, like, at my job, it was a lot of things that I just wasn't agreeing with. And like everybody else was on be quiet. But I'm just like, this is what I stand for. This is what I believe. This is like one of my principles. I don't like how y'all, y'all going about treating people. And so I ended up on like a probation like period because they were like, you could just tell they wasn't used to having people question them or challenge them. And listen, I'm gonna challenge you.
Yeah.
And so, I can't say that it was my principle, so I stood on it.
So how did you resolve this, and what impact did it have on you mentally?
So now that we towards the end of the year, I actually just had a meeting not too long ago, and it just kind of impacted me and showed me that when you stand your ground and you believe in what you believe in, other people will eventually understand. Because now everybody at the school, they just like, we just never had nobody, advocate. We never had nobody just really advocate for themselves. And I'm fine with that. I don't need nobody to talk or speak for me.
Yeah.
So definitely speaking up for yourself and standing your ground and what you believe in, like.
Right, for sure. So going back to the whole content creating thing, Tayy Wayy, I almost said Tayy Wayy Ministries.
I'm not about to.
But Tayy Wayy, you have the YouTube, the podcast. Do you want to, and of course, reveal as much or as little as you would like?
Okay.
Do you plan to branch off with this or go deeper as far as you want to go more details as to like what you want to do with this? Like you want to take it into another branch avenue, what you want to do with it?
So actually True Tuesday started out with just me, and it used to drive me insane just doing everything. I quit like 35 times, but as you can see, it's still going. But True Tuesday has a team now. So it's almost, I'm saying almost, but it's 9 of us, and it's just a team. It's a team, but we also like a family too. Like we have meetings every Tuesday and everything. So we transformed it more into like, it'll still be interviews, doing the hosting and stuff, but also getting into doing events. And then I don't know if you're familiar, I'm actually gonna ask you on here to do your Truth Talk challenge.
Okay.
But and so motivation too. And so I just see it kind of being just like a media, like one-stop shop. Like people can come here, and if you need a videographer, if you need a photographer, if you need somebody to host, we have a DJ. So I do want it to just keep growing and expanding. I do eventually maybe want to do like a nonprofit, maybe. Look, I don't want to talk too much, but I just want to get into like, I like helping, kids and stuff, so mentorship, but I don't know exactly where it's gonna go, but I am proud of where it is now because we coming up on the 4-year anniversary on Cinco de Mayo. So just stay on the lookout. I'm always cooking up something.
Okay. So now with content, do you feel the need to, now you have a whole team, you got a whole team.
Yeah.
See, me, my team ain't that big. So you guys, it's a 9 total, or is it, okay, so it's 8 other brains you have to run stuff through. And then you have an audience. You may not people please in your real life, but as a content creator, sometimes we people please with our content. Do you ever have a time where it's like you're going to create something or do something just to please an audience, even if you don't necessarily agree with it?
No.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie, for the most part, like, and sometimes it get tricky for me on what I want to post because I'll be like, I don't know if this going to offend somebody or not.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, what is the name of the show? Truth. It never the pretty lie. I'm not about to sugarcoat, and it may ruffle some feathers, but it may be 3, 4, 5 other people that agree.
I think the issue is too, a lot of times content creators have content they know could go viral, but I think they don't feel like having to fight people in the comments and dealing with that, because once them eyes on you, here come the mouths on you. And then it's like 100 people might agree with you. You could literally post something about God and bless me with a house out of nowhere. It's going to be 200, it's going to be 1,000 people congratulating you. It's going to be 100. You believe in that genie, you're stupid. Why would he didn't give you that house? Like, it's going to be something that's going to piss you off. And I think that we have to get to the point where, I think it was a caption by Jackie Hill Perry. She said, tough skin, but a soft heart. And what the soft heart basically means, just that you have a heart that's easy to forgive and not easily offended, because in this industry you can't be easily offended because you're gonna quit. Wasn't quitting because you was offended. You was quitting because it was just stress. But you gonna quit. You're gonna want to just let it. You just gonna want to be like, I can't deal with this. And I think the position that you was in and the school that we went to prepared us for stuff like that.
Not gonna lie. I tell anybody any day, like, it just be crazy when people like, I don't like TSU, blah, blah, blah. I be like, man, it's literally what you go there and make it. But I'm not gonna lie, being not thrown, but being put into that position, like, I literally had to, like, boss up, as they would say. And I learned a lot fast. But yeah, shout out to TSU, changed my life forever. You feel me?
The real TSU, Texas Southern. All right, let's get into the next one. So it says, mitigate people pleasing through value alignment. It says, so according to research published on personality and social psychology, it says a tendency towards excessive people pleasing can be detrimental to one's mental health. Aligning actions with personal values, which solely seeking approval from others, can reduce the inclination and associated stress. And then prioritizing decisions and actions that reflect genuine personal values over the decisions to people please support your mental health because it reduces anxiety and improves self-satisfaction. So that's good, because being in high pressure environments, you in one, but you about to get your break and your teacher check in the summer. I missed that. But you get to chill for 2 months. So in these high pressure environments, how do you manage stress?
I'm not gonna lie, gospel music.
Okay.
Gospel music, and then when the sun is out. I love the sun. Like, if you have been on my story, you will probably think I'm a little cuckoo, but I'll be like, hey, that's my bestie. Like, I really love the sun. And like I said, my gospel music. And I would say my third thing is, if you have, what is that, Pandora, the music app, I like to go to the Eric Thomas station, because they don't play just Eric Thomas. They have like the spoken words, they have poems, but I just feel like what you feed your brain. So when it do get like a lot of pressure or anything, it's like I don't go straight to negative or bad. I just be like, hey, gotta keep going.
Right.
Or, hey, 3:15 right around the corner.
Yeah, for sure. And in a minute, when y'all last day?
June 7th, I think.
Okay.
No, but let me mess your head up real quick, since you're not in the, school world no more. Why PD start in July?
They keep pushing school back and pushing school up. Now, the schools I worked at, the last school I worked at, we was done like it's supposed to be before Memorial Day. But because then we had the last school I worked at, we started August 3rd, but we was off May 26th. So that was, but yeah, they keep trying to push the dates up and up.
I do want to say on here, just in case any teachers, administration, or anything, watch this, we can use some mental health days.
They coming soon. I say in the next 5 years or so. Hopefully before then, but I'm just,
because it's like they already be tripping on you taking your days off, and it's like, what you give them to us for? And then, that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day.
Which we're going to the perfect segment, which is I challenge that. All right, so in this segment, we know we like to challenge kind of what we're going to talk about today. So when we talk about standing on principles, standing on business. So before we get into that, it's a tweet I want to read.
Okay.
It's from Moneybag Yo, and this was in 2021. He said you either standing on business or you just standing around. Ain't no in between. What does that mean to you? Because I'm gonna say what it means to me after you say it.
To me is if you not, doing what you're supposed to be doing and doing what you saying that you gonna do, like you basically just like in the way.
In the way. I like that. I feel as though when we talk about, of course, standing on business, and that's ambiguous, because of course it can mean business wise, but it also can mean relationally, it can mean a lot of different things. But I think that when it comes to standing on business, and of course with him, I think with his tweet, which I like, I think that a lot of people just feel as though it's okay to just go with the wind. And they think it's okay to just be like, okay, yeah, okay. A lot of people like yes men. I couldn't hang with yes men. I feel as though people that do that, it's like, I don't know. It's like, what
no
kind of
accountability?
Yeah. People don't this generation don't take accountability. We know that. It's everybody else's fault. I've never heard so many people be like, I'm like, so you fall out with everybody, but it ain't never you. And don't get it twisted. There are instances where you may fall out with a bunch of everybody, and it may be needed for that moment.
Mm-hmm.
But every single time, it's never you.
I gotta tell you the story.
Right. It's never you. It's never you. So now, as you know, Tayy Wayy, if y'all ever met her in person, you know her energy is unmatched. She capitalizes on this. How do you bring that energy into your business strategy and the business negotiations?
Honestly, you feel me before you see me.
Okay.
So I just feel like the smiles, the happiness, the joy is actually, and the word just left my head. Is it
infectious?
There you go. It's like this. So it's just like when I am in, meetings or anything like that, people like really feel me and they see like that I'm serious about what I'm talking about, especially if I come in with my plan and everything too and make it even, 10 times better. I think I answered the question right.
No, you did.
Okay.
So now, again, going back to your team. So you talked about, so now have you been in a situation with your team where you had to make a decision because you are the boss, right? Correct?
I mean, yeah.
I mean,
I am, but it's just like, I really, like I said, it's a team, but it's also like my family too.
Right.
So it's just like
Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. So
family,
it's like, and I guess I explain it more to them just like because I've been doing it by myself for the past, 2-3 years, like y'all take the lead or take like, long as we like talk about it, because like one of my team members, he always explained, like Tayy, like this is your baby, because you came up with it, type of thing. But I don't know, the type of person I am. Like when I love you and I love hard. So it's just like, I'll be telling them like, no, this y'all's too.
Yeah.
So
what happened when you had a decision that you had to make? Basically, you had to make an executive decision, and it was unpopular to the majority.
What happened?
Yeah.
We just have to have hard conversations. Or, I'll go pull up on them, they'll pull up on me, and we'll just figure out where we went wrong. Because a lot of times just small little miscommunication things can blow up and be something big, but we like to talk it out. So, communication.
That's a great segue, because when we talk about communication, as we know, we have a outer voice and then we have an inner voice. And most cases, the inner voice, especially if it leads you to do something that you against what you called and believed to do, it can be what's the word I want to use? It can get you to the point where you might, I can't get the word out right now, but it's not good. We'll just say it like that. And I instantly think about a topic or a phrase that's become popular that we hear about all the time now: imposter syndrome. Now, for those that don't know what imposter syndrome is when them giving you the cliff notes. It's basically when you are afraid to do something because a lot of times you feel as though you maybe think that. Have you heard of imposter syndrome?
No, that's why I'm listening so hard. That's
so basically, it's when you are a person who say you can do this, or like you succeed at doing something, and you feel as though people will find out. It's like it's a mental battle, and it's not a good one. And you feel as though you are scared people are going to find out about you being a fake or a fraud, even though you're not. You just think it's like you really think that, or you feel as though you scared to put. Let me give you an example. So say, for instance, if you could be the best coach to your team, you coaching them on what they should do, you should put this out, you should put this out. But when it's time for you to put your stuff out, I don't know. You all start overthinking it.
Okay.
Now, I'm obviously not a professional. This is not I'm not going to diagnose anybody. Now, even if I said somebody is crazy, I'm saying it with love. But what I will say is with the whole imposter syndrome thing, we've learned new terms and new phrases, and I don't like how this society now just takes phrases and words that they seen on Wikipedia, a podcast, their favorite YouTube channel, or their favorite reality show, and now it's, oh, I got that. And I hear so many people, oh, I got imposter syndrome and I got imposter syndrome. But in reality, I don't think you have imposter syndrome. Let me tell you what you got. You got, I didn't criticize, chopped up, tore down everybody else's stuff. And now it's your turn to get the spotlight. Now you scared. That's what that is. And I think that as content creators, sometimes we can be a little too critical of other people. I actually am not. Now, if this, of course, when I've listened to stuff, if I say it ain't good, I mean, it just wasn't good, but that don't mean it's not going to ever get good. And even then, I don't be publicly on Instagram, this is trash. Like, I just because, but it's some people I might just kind of like, I might think it out loud, but I'm not going to post it online. And I think sometimes in society, we get caught up in, I'm all for voicing your opinion, but I still feel as though there is a
way to do it.
It's a way to do it. It's a way to do it. So even with imposter syndromes, we talk about focusing on achievements that truly reflect personal effort and principles. So this can help individuals overcome imposter syndrome, enhancing their self-confidence and mental well-being. So that's the thing. A lot of times people just don't have self-confidence. So have you always been this confident, and if not, how did you get to where you are now?
Man, I ain't always been this confident. I told you I used to be a little rug, and I ain't talking about like the rug from Home Depot. And I was a little $5 rug, just everybody. But again, it just that self-love journey. And then I think like, I always think about that R. Kelly song that when a woman's fed up.
Oh, that was you.
Bruh, what? What was me?
No.
Oh, I thought you said that. I was like, wait, what?
No, don't say you was fed up.
But it's just like, oh yeah, that was me. Yes, it was just like when I was fed. When you get fed up with your own bullshit and just stuff, and it was just like I was fed up. And so, like I said, when I started my journey, that's when the self-esteem, self-love, all those things they came about. Everything started with you, literally.
It do.
Everything started with you.
But again, like I said, this generation doesn't take accountability. If they do the bare minimum.
So that's already hard.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's move to the next segment, which is the weekly sabbatical. And in this segment, we just kind of reflect, reminisce on some things, and just kind of, have good conversation. I mean, we've been having a great conversation, but just kind of reminisce on some things and how
teaching me a lot too.
Oh, okay, appreciate it. Kind of getting on. What's what I want to say? Just how did we get to where we're at now?
Okay.
So with you, your show, you all about leaving a legacy. You talk about leaving a legacy and all that good stuff. So how do you balance the desire to illuminate every room, every room you go in, you show out, you stand out, with the need to still stand on your decisions, especially in controversial situations? And if you haven't had that experience, how do you think you would handle it?
You asking some good questions.
Make you think.
No, for real. You about to be mad at me, but don't hit me with it one more time. I'm having to think as you say it.
So how do you, dealing in the world of controversy, and you as somebody who talk about leaving a legacy and wanting to, and of course not wanting to, but you just, show up in every room and everybody know you there. They just, even if they ain't looking that way, they just know you in the room. So with them doing that and knowing that, how do you plan on standing on your principles in situations that may be controversial, with knowing you are the light in the room, with knowing you want to leave a legacy? How do you plan to do that in controversial situations? And if you've been in one before, how did you handle it?
I want to say that I haven't. But I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know.
Well, something to think about.
No, most definitely. I'm gonna have to get this one from you, because I don't get stuck a lot, but you got me stuck on that one.
So reflecting on your principles, you like not standing, but being in the sun. You like doing that. So do you ever take mental breaks from Truth Tuesday, or how long do they last?
It really just depends on just like what we have going on, or like if we starting up something new. And definitely in those times that we are on breaks or anything, as you stated, the sun, that is something that I definitely like to do, and that I feel like just being outside, and I'm already like a nature person. It also helped me, just be creative and, get more ideas. But I want to say the breaks, won't be no more than about a month. Which we meet every Tuesday.
Yeah.
For goals, productivity, and all that. Can I get my words out? All of those things anyway. So I want to say we get a break, but it's still really not a break. 'Cause like I said, it's kind of like a family type of thing.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. And it's good, I guess, to work with people that you actually love working with. And you see the difference between your work family in Truth Tuesday and your work family at your school. Is that a work family? Do you consider that? Or you just like, hey, how y'all doing? Bye.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I have at work, I have created a family there too. Like, you had those couple of people that you can really come to, and it's funny because I was actually with them last night.
Oh.
But yeah, so we have, I don't know, just after being at TSU, and like you said, TSU it's gonna teach you some things about networking. And it's like, once I created that family at TSU, and I may not talk to those people every day, but I know that I can still pick up the phone and call them. I kind of just started like building little families, like everywhere. So yes, my school family and my like true family, they different, but I ain't gonna lie, like I told you, I love the same.
Yeah.
So like, you genuine with me, I'm genuine with you. You pouring into me, I'm pouring into you, type of thing. So.
All right, bet. So as we kind of wrap up, as always, I want to give my audience some ways to do whatever we're talking about. So today we're talking about standing on business. And as I stated earlier, it's ambiguous. So this not just standing on business as far as your principles in like your career with, in the professional setting, but also personal. And so I found a website, and this is from How Can You Stand on Business? 10 Proven Strategies to Get an Edge. So it's several ways, obviously 10, but I picked the ones that were best for this conversation. And like I said, are not just at work, but in all areas. So the first one is establish a memorial brand. And with that, when you think of brand, of course, you think of like a business. But what people fail to realize is you are your own brand. So keep that in mind too. It says your brand's impression is made within the first 5 seconds, and which is similar to when you meet people. They typically, what they think about you in the first 5 seconds, in most cases, not always, is kind of what they, is just what stays. It says this means you have to be open and think about, and even with that, you like with a brand, you think about colors or brand designs. So do they stand out from the competition? It's kind of like what you got on definitely stands out. You can tell kind of how people are based on how they dress in a lot of cases, not always, but it says sometimes you can easily identify brands from hundreds of others. And then it says have eye-catching brand will help your business get noticed easier and eventually faster. The second one is offer tailor-made solutions. So we must know that every solution don't work for everybody. So that means you have to make it to where some people can get it. It says most brands assume they're offering a solution that's great, but what makes your business special, for example, is how specific your solutions are to these exact problems. It says engaging them in one way of finding out exactly what they need, and ask questions and listen to comments to map out their challenges. All right. And then you craft solutions based on that. The third one is show expertise in your field. Everybody is an expert in something. Even if you're an expert in being messy, you're an expert in something, right? It says when you gauge how to establish professional reputation around yourself, you will automatically be different from the rest of the competition. This will also bring about more customers towards your brand. The fourth one is understand your competitive differentiation. With that one, I'm going to just talk about that. I'm even going to read the notes. I'm going to just say there's competition everywhere, but it's good competition. Like if you got a podcast, I got a podcast. It's competition, but it's like friendly competition. Because I know what I do is not nobody else can do. When you're doing something that's questioned, and really like, I don't know if that's going to work. Sometimes people really are trying to help you, but then sometimes they just don't see the vision, and that's okay because the same people who y'all worship and praise was the same people that got that same resistance. You couldn't have never told nobody I was going to do a podcast that blended mental health, critical thinking, and comedy together, and I made it work. Everybody can't do that.
This is true.
Because it's also, and it's like, who can do that? Nobody. You know what I mean? And the last one, which I think aligns with both of us as people, it says, admit and fix problems which can be when called out. So this is beyond customer experience. And it says it's more about customer satisfaction. You don't want your customers to write you off for one little mistake. Remember, negative feedback spreads faster than wildfire, especially thanks to social media. So I think that if you did get something wrong, say for instance, I was on the podcast and when admitting when you're wrong, I was on this podcast, I said something that was wrong. I come back and say, yo, that was wrong. I shouldn't have did it. Same thing in a relationship. Friend, I was mad. I shouldn't have said that. I let my emotions get the best of me. My bad. Because can't nobody hold it against you if you said it.
Is this true?
I don't watch Love is Blind, but I did see. Do you watch that?
But I keep hearing everybody talk about it.
Yeah. That it was some dude who did something wild on there and he gave like a big public apology on the show and everybody was like, I can't even be mad at you because you said you was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think this generation don't like giving apologies. And before we get to the last segment, I just got to ask, what is your take on, do you keep people around who can't apologize?
Yeah.
You keep them around if they can't apologize?
Oh, if they can't. No, I'm not gonna lie, no. Or, I mean, I guess it just depends on kind of like the situation also. But being able to apologize, accountability, like that's big. Like, because not only do I want you to call me out when I'm wrong, but vice versa, I'm gonna do the same thing to you. And like you said, you can't get offended by everything. So yeah, I guess just it depends on like the situation.
The severity of it.
Yeah.
Got it.
How you feel about it?
I'm fine with it because most cases I say when I'm wrong. I've always felt, I don't feel like, different genders here, but I just feel like no man should make excuses. I feel like you should just be like, if you was wrong, say, okay, yeah, I'd rather you say, which I've done before, if yeah, I was wrong, but I don't care. It's honest, right? I mean, that's just how I feel. I feel like you said, okay, yeah, it was wrong. I don't care.
Right.
Versus, no, I wasn't wrong. No, you was wrong. That's it. But I'm really big on people who can call out everything you do wrong, but we never hear what you do right. And that sometimes is more of a character flaw on them than it is on the person. But, All right. So as we wind down, we got to wind down with a game. So let's get into game time. This game is called Standing on Business or Just Standing. Thanks to Moneybag You, I'm going to name a few scenarios and I want you to tell me whether or not this person hypothetically is standing on business or just standing.
Okay.
All right. Refusing to play a role in the movie that aligns with incest or RAPE. Yeah.
Who?
Is they standing on business or they just standing?
They don't want to play this role.
Yeah.
That's not standing on business. Wait, what was the other? It was standing on business and
just standing.
Just standing.
They just standing. Okay. Saying that you weren't going to go drink and that you weren't drinking, and then you get after 3 peer pressures later, you're drinking.
Man, that's standing on business. You may have had a hard day at work. Listen, I'm a teacher. Monday through Friday be a little difficult. Look.
Okay. What's another one I'm gonna ask?
Is it like Tayy? Look, I'm being honest.
Sticking to your meal plan and being invited out to a all-you-can-eat buffet for free, but still sticking to your meal plan. Are you standing on business or you just standing?
You standing on business.
For sure. Definitely. Telling people that you quit smoking 3 months ago and you've been 3 months without smoking.
You standing on business.
And the final one. Going to Truth Tuesday to have an interview with Tayy Wayy. Is you standing on business or you just standing?
Hey, you standing on that. Boy, you see no muzzle, right? You standing on business, boy.
All right, good stuff, good stuff. All right, so let's end with the question or challenge for the audience. So how do you plan on standing on business moving forward? And I challenge you to put yourself first all week. Just for a week, don't tell nobody yes to nothing. If you don't want to do it, just say no. Just say you put yourself first. What's the Taraji P? I got to put me first. Yeah, you got to put yourself first. All right. That's been a great first episode. Anything you want to say before you go? Anything you want to plug? Tell the people.
I'm not gonna lie. First of all, just thank you for having me. Like I said, I learned a lot myself. That's kind of why I'm a little, but because this is a mental health podcast also. I do just want to say, like, y'all, like, take your mental health, like, serious, and just the people that you have in your circle. I think they say like your top 5 people.
Yeah.
Like, as I'm getting older, I'm really noticing that, like, they really do play a big part in your life. Like, I appreciate my friends texting me not just what you doing, but how are you mentally? How are you spiritually? How are you emotionally? That mean a lot. Or, just sending quotes and stuff. And something else that, Izzy has said throughout the interview is just like, bro, like, for real, give people their flowers while they here. It's like people want to wait too late. And I hate to say it, like, too late, but like, why do people here love on them, check on them? When you think of somebody or you get that gut feeling, like, text them, call them. I've been getting a lot of them texts and calls this week, and that stuff, it mean a lot. Cause I had a bad sickle cell crisis this week, and just sickle cell this round for me has been mentally challenging for me. And so just having them people that I know that think about me and stuff like that, it's been a big help. So I just want to say, like, yeah, make sure y'all taking care of yourself mentally and have those people around you that's going to help you and hold you accountable.
All right, y'all. That is it for this week. P.S.A. signing out. Always remember, keep your head up like your neck hurt. Remember who you are. Make your mind up. Don't let it make you. And remember, I love us for real.